Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my everyday makeup routine. If you're new here, I'm Fatima Hundekari and I've recently started this YouTube channel to post about beauty and fashion. So if that's something that interests you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. This is a look that I wear for shoots, events, agar main kabhi apne friends se milne ja rahi hu. This is my most worn look. A very clean girl aesthetic, minimal products and a very simple look. So without any further ado, let's start the video. Hairs out of the face, let's begin. I'm going to start with the Too Faced lip injection. This will not only hydrate my lips but also make it a little plump just in time for the lipstick. While that does its thing, we're going to go in with primer. I'm using the Fit Me Matte Plus Polish Primer from Maybelline. I only go over my T-zone because that's where I have some pores. For foundation, I'm going to be mixing these two. This is the Too Faced Warm Beige Foundation and this is MAC Studio Radiance NC25. This one has a little more yellowy undertone and this one has a little more peach undertone. So I feel like when I mix the two of them, I get just the right shade. One pump of each. Mix that and dot it all over my face. I like to dot my foundation outside of my face and then drag it in with a beauty blender rather than applying too much foundation on the inside of my face. Because I anyway go in with a lot of concealer under my eyes, so that part of my face gets covered with concealer, and I like to cover the rest of my face with foundation because otherwise I don't like to layer up too much product. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how I do it. Okay, now I have a damp beauty blender. I'm going to spritz it with some setting spray. This is by NYX. It's their matte finish setting spray. I'm just going to go ahead and dab. Do you see that shade match? It perfectly matches my skin. If your beauty blender starts feeling dry, spritz some more setting spray on it. I like using a setting spray on my beauty blender because it helps with my base setting as well. So it acts as a 2-in-1. It locks my base in whilst also providing some moisture to blend it in nicely. So that's my foundation done. Now I'm going to use these two concealers. This one is Huda Beauty 4 Filter in the shade Graham Cracker and this one is Too Faced in the shade Warm Beige again. I'm going to go in with the Too Faced one, the middle of my eye, a little bit outside, around my lips and a little bit on my forehead. That's all the product that I need. I'm going to go in with the Huda Beauty one in the inner corner of my eye. This is because the Too Faced concealer is more closer to my skin tone, so I like to use it in the outer corner. But the Huda Beauty one is slightly more brighter than my skin tone and it adds a nice brightening effect, so I like to use it in the inner corner of my eye. Now, I'm not going to blend in my concealer immediately. I'm going to let it sit for a while and dry out a little bit on my skin before I go ahead and blend it. This is a great tip if you want more coverage using less product. So meanwhile, I'm going to go in with blush. I'm going to use the Tipsy Beauty Silk Cushion Blush in the shade Bouquet of Roses. Place it on the high points of my cheeks. Now, recently what I've started to do is I've started to mix a little bit of Driver's Seat by Smashbox also in my blush because this blush is very cool toned pink and I like a little bit of peachy coral shade to my blush. This is very pigmented, so I literally go in with the tiniest dot. That's all you need. Trust me, if you go in with more, you're going to look like a clown. I'm going to blend my blush using a brush. I tried doing this with a beauty blender earlier and yes, it does blend really well, but the beauty blender tends to pick up a lot of the product and I really like to have a lot of blush on my face, so I like to use a brush instead. Now the great thing about not blending out your concealer and doing your blush first is so that it also gives you a seamless finish between your blush and your concealer. Like this line between your concealer and your blush will be so beautifully and seamlessly blended once you blend out your concealer. I'm going to take whatever's remaining on my brush and just add it to the bridge of my nose. Now I'm going to go ahead and blend my concealer. Do not drag your concealer out, otherwise you're not going to get enough coverage. Thing on the other eye. Now with whatever's remaining on my beauty blender, I'm just going to go over my eyelids and then I'm going to blend the rest of my concealer on my face. When we're done with all the cream and liquid products, I'm going to move on to the powders. Make sure that you don't mix cream and powder products because they tend to cake up easily and they also crack a lot. So going in with this Rimmel bronzer. Go in with a very, very light hand into the Rimmel bronzer because it's extremely pigmented. Now I'm going to go in with the powder blush. Don't worry about my blush looking too pigmented. Once I set my face with powder, all of this is going to be toned down. Okay, so now that I'm done with blush and contour, I'm going to go ahead and set my face using powder. Mostly people set their face with powder first and then go ahead and use a powder blush or a powder bronzer over it. There are two reasons why I reverse the process. One is because I like to use less product, and if I set my face with powder first, I'm going to set my entire face and then apply my blush and bronzer over the powder, which is going to be just too much powder on my face. And two is because, like the blush and the concealer, I want all of these powders to blend in seamlessly. So if I use my bronzer first, then my blush, and then go ahead with the setting powder, it sets everything in place and blurs out any harsh lines. So now specifically for my under eyes, I'm going ahead with the Color Bar Powder Foundation. Not only sets my under eyes but also gives it that extra coverage that I need just around here. Do you see that difference? I love this product. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. The rest of my face, I'm going to use the trusty Maybelline Fit Me powder. Also, very important, I always set my eyelids with this powder. Spritz some setting spray. My base is done. I'm going to move on to the brows. I'm going to use this pencil from Miss Claire. Okay, I'm going to be completely honest with you. This is not the best brow pencil that I've used. It does the job pretty well. It's definitely not the best, but it does the job well. It's a little waxy, so I like to set it in with like a dark brown eyeshadow. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead with the Smashbox palette. It's a very old palette, and I'm going to use this deep brown shade to set my brows. For the eye, I keep it very minimal and nude. Go in with the same shade again. I'm going to use a flat brush and go very, very close to my lash line and just wing it out. It does not need to be perfect. I don't want to have like a proper brown line over my eye. That's not my goal. I just want there to be a little bit of shadow close to my lash line because that gives an illusion of more fuller lashes. Just completely blend that out so that there's no harsh line. Now for mascara, I use the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, brown shade. I love using a brown mascara for my everyday use. I don't go ham with my mascara. I think one coat is enough. Now the most important step in my eye makeup look, or rather in my entire makeup look, is adding a little bit of shimmer in the inner corner of my eye. I always do this. It just opens up your eye, makes you look more fresh, makes you look more vibrant. I don't know, there's something about it that just really enhances my look. I'm using this very old palette of Maybelline. It has no branding left on it, and I'm going to use this shade to go in just in the inner corner of my eye. So I'm going to take the same product on my nose. Okay, so the makeup is almost done. The only thing remaining are my lips. There are two lip combos that I reach out for very frequently. One is a nude pink glossy lip and the other one is a cool toned brown glossy lip. Today I thought I'll show you both of these lip combos. For the first lip combo, I'm going in with the Mars lip liner in the shade Mauve Magic. Then I'm going to go in with Kiro Beauty's Nude Lily. This is a liquid matte and I love this shade. It's the perfect nude pink for Indian skin tones. For gloss, I'm again going to use the Kiro lip gloss, Rose All Day. It's a very subtle pink lip gloss with a little bit of shimmer. That's my lip combo number one. Now for the brown lip combo, I go in with the same lip liner, Mauve Magic by Mars. Then I'm going to go in with Stepping Out from Smashbox. I love this shade. It is a very cool tone, neutral brown. Not everybody would like a shade like this, but I feel like this shade looks really hot. Then I go in with this one from MAC. This is their Locked Kiss lipstick in the shade Teaser, just on the inside of my lip. I like to go in with a gloss. I'm going to use the Flossy Cosmetics Chocolate Granola Gloss. I love this gloss. I've completely used it. I barely have any remaining. That's the other lip combo. That was it for my everyday makeup routine. I hope you guys found this video helpful. I shared a lot of my tips, tricks and hacks in this video. So if you use any of those, please let me know how they work out for you. Also, all of these products that I've used are not sponsored. They're products that I genuinely love and I've tried and tested them over time. So if you all want to take any recommendations, these ones are my go-to. If you all like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.